All right, welcome to the discussion segment of the Good Morning Anambra right on EBS television. My name is Obina, and of course, right here with me in the studio, we've got really very resourceful persons to discuss the story of the moment. Anambra decides 2025 voter readiness for the November 8th governorship election. How are the Anambrarians? How are we ready for the elections? How is INEC ready for the elections? How are everyone who are actually very much involved in this election, how prepared are we? Reports say that today, Amopiton, the new, Joash Amopiton, the new INEC nominated chairman, will begin, will take over the realms of affairs right there in the electoral house. So let's see how that actually does turn out. All right. So we've seen series of elections in Anambra State, right from the 1999 election. They're moving from that to Chris Ngige taking over, and then Mr. P2B taking over, and after that we saw Willie Obiano, then currently Governor Chukwuma Soludo in the realms of affair. And the INEC has also said they seem to be a very positive, there's likely going to be a positive turnout in the upcoming election with about 200,000 voters registering, and it is sounding really very positive amid talks and fears of, security tensions, thuggery, and a whole lot of development. But these are some of the things we'll be discussing with our guests right here in the studio. So, good morning.
Good morning.
So, right here in the studio, we have Honorable Chief Obiajulu Nwoye, who is the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Political Mobilization. And we also have Sir John Ifejika, who is a Public Affairs Analyst. So both of them will be discussing these developments with us this morning. This morning, right here in the studio, Honorable Chief Obiajulu Nwoye. I read you also known as Glamour.
Not Glamour.
No Glamour.
Mistake.
Oh, mistake you for Glamour.
Right.
But you actually have a very glamorous face.
It's my friend anyway.
Yeah, right. So you're the SSA to the Governor on Political Mobilization. We also have Sir John.
Ambassador John, please. I'm not Sir.
Okay, Ambassador John Ifejika, who is a Public Affairs Analyst. So welcome to the studio this morning.
Thank you very much.
So let's move into the discussion. Anambra decides 2025 voter readiness for the November 8th governorship election. So I'll start with you, the SSA. You're the Special Assistant to the Governor, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on political mobilization.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to delve into INEC-related questions. I would want to begin by asking the preparedness of the All Progressive Grand Alliance. What are the preparations on ground? What are the plans? Is ABGA looking at rigging elections, or if they are more interested in actually protecting votes and making sure? So what are the plans of the All Progressive Grand Alliance?
Well, election plans are not being discussed in the public, but all I know is that everybody is saying it. ABGA is campaigning. And I've been in ABGA since the time of P2B. And ABGA is known as a party that goes to the grassroots. We don't plan rigging. We don't have anything to do with rigging. We always allow people to decide. And that is why you can see during P2B's regime, he went for campaign. He campaigned for it first time. Second time, people thought it could not even happen, but it happened. The first time, a governor returned the second term in Anambra State history. And the same thing happens to Obiano. Obiano came in. It was like that. Second time, people said he's not going to come back again. He campaigned, went down the road to one local governments, and the wards did their campaigns, and he came back. During Soludo's time, me and you knows there was a lot of gunshot insecurity in Anambra State. Yet Soludo went in, 21 local governments campaign just as it's going now. He campaigned seriously, brought out a lot of innovations. You know, first in history in Anambra State, we had support groups, people pulling in their efforts, putting in their money, their ideas to support the government that we really want this person to go in. And he won. And now this second time again, he is in for it. Receiving a lot of endorsements from so many people. Receiving a lot of endorsement from so many people. The market people, the transporters, all sectors are endorsing. Teachers, you know, civil servants, they are endorsing him. And it's been going round local government by local government.
So these endorsements, you know, we see endorsement lots of times. In fact, let's talk about President Goodluck Jonathan. I think 2014, 2015,
yes.
The elections, and he was very confident. In fact, he got donations, he got support, public support from, you know, support groups, political leaders, traditional leaders, and a whole lot of it, but he still failed. So are you trusting that these supports are actually not political? It's not a propaganda thing. It's more like this is a real support. You're actually supporting the government because the government has done a lot, or these things are basically photo ops.
I will talk about Anambra State support. Anambra State support. Why I will talk about Anambra State support with 100%. Anambra State support to the governor is not to be equated with that of the Jonathan. National politics and state politics is never the same. This issue of support groups in Anambra State has never been done before. It happened that I am one of the originators, because I was a leader of the group they called GSP, Grace Oludo Patriots. You know, it came out of the love. Who will take over the leadership from Obiano and do better than Obiano? In a discussion like this, we now put our heads together and said, let us muster a support for this man. That Soludo is the only person that will call to come and serve. And I remembered on 7th January, that was 2020, we were in his house at Isuobia. We asked him, we knelt and asked him to come and vie for this. He has never declared his interest to run for this governorship. Right. We invited him, we begged him to come and vie. He's the next person that stood that seat, that will carry the flag.
All right. So, Ifejika, let's look at voter readiness. From a public point of view, as someone who is basically neutral during this period, probably not affiliated to any political party, but as a private citizen, how do you see the political awareness, people going to get their voters card, INEC coming out to say that we've got about 200,000 more persons very much involved, or rather added to the voter register in Anambra State. So your take on that?
Yeah, before I say something, I want to correct one impression. Don't forget that Professor Chukwuma Soludo was one-time PDP candidate in election in Anambra State, and that shows that he had interest. Don't forget that he was the one who said...
Basically, we are not actually talking about, it's not a thing about, I think it was a situation whereby in trying to say something, it led to something else.
Yeah,
so
nobody had interest to be there.
So let's not, it's not about his...
So saying that some set of people who asked him to come out, no, it's wrong. He had interest all along. And the outgoing governor saw, yes, there are certain things in him because he contested under PDP. You understand me? He contested. He was given.
So let's
so are you coming to tell me some people went to bring him out? Let's look at now. When you look at it now, you find out that we have not even seen sign. November 8 is here.
Barely 16 days.
Yes, 2 weeks plus, 2 days. It shows that we have not seen anything. All you now see is billboards showing candidates. If you go and ask an average Anambra man who is contesting in so and so party A or B, they will tell you they don't know. You understand me? Because I've not heard of any. The only thing, when you say campaign, you see people coming in, a group of people coming in, they go to Ekweme Square, the governor talks to them. You see, when we want to talk of campaign, what is called campaign, the real campaign, we're talking. I remember as a young man, I met the UPN. I met the NPP. I met the NPN. They come, certain time, they will tell you in DMJ's field in Onitsha, they said, NPP is coming to do campaign. People are gathered. You see them. It's announced. We know they are coming to do campaign. And then they will show. Even PRP, the People Redemption Party, they also came in that of Aminu Kano, where Chief Abalanze of Abagane Ezemwa came in as their governorship candidate. They did their campaign. But coming in with what I'm saying now, we have one party in Anambra State. We don't even have two parties.
So is that, if there's a one party in Anambra State, will you say is the fault?
I'm not saying it's the fault of anybody.
Okay.
Well, I've not had anybody coming out. I only see them on the billboard.
So is that not enough to, is that not enough awareness?
Which awareness? Seeing.
Yes, you've got to, before you...
We want you to make a statement that this is what you will do.
A number of them,
not when you come.
A number of them are making statements.
We have not had them.
We've seen people from... it's not basically campaigning for anybody.
No.
We see people from other political parties.
We have not. People have not seen them. Even in Oka, we have not seen any political party.
Okay, you're saying they're not making enough efforts to create
awareness.
They
should come out, call us, and we want to hear them talk. So that at the end of the day,
we've seen the APC candidates, we've seen the Labour Party candidates.
Where did you see him?
We've seen the
where did you see them?
We've also seen the I'm trying to remember the blue colored party with the star.
That is Action Alliance.
Action Alliance, exactly.
Yes.
So we've seen you just mentioned it means that their campaign strategy has been,
because they don't have anything to say. Understand me? Don't stay here. They don't have anything to say.
Just come in a little bit.
No, wait. They don't have anything to say. They have not been campaigning.
Let me
It's
hear.
only the Apuga that is campaigning.
Now you are there. You just say that it's only Apuga that is.
Yes. They have not come. We have not seen them. The APC man, I have not heard him speak.
So why do you think these people are not speaking?
Because they don't have anything to say. They don't know English. They don't know what to say. Okay. Let's face the fact. I'm not a politician and I will never be one. I remember in those days when the NPN is there to talk, you listen to Maitama Sule, you listen to Suleiman Takuma, you listen to others. NPP is coming, you listen to K. Ombadi, with Paul Unungu, Uluaki Foshile, Adeniro Gusoya. These are people who have something to say. Jim Wobodo, then they will not raise his hand up. We've not seen them. They've not come. You don't tell me.
I will agree with you on that because I remember just a little reading on one of Awolowo's book, and I was quite fascinating at the effort he actually did make going around the country to actually talk to people. You see they're moving around the country, even going as far as outside the shores of the country too. So I was really impressed. Amidst the fact that they were little infrastructures, but we wouldn't. It's not really our bone of contention this morning. Our discussion is very, basically around voter participation, the average Anambra. How have they been able to connect themselves with the upcoming elections? Our concerns for them. All right, so I'll be coming back to you, the SSA, to Governor Soludo on political mobilization. All right, so you're very much, you just said that you're very much an ABGA man.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's look at how the political party has helped in making sure that people get their voters card. Like you said, I asked if the plan is to actually rig elections, but you said no, that's not the plan. In fact, going back to as far as Mr. P2B, the whole, and even how Governor Soludo came in amidst the amidst the insecurities that was actually abound there. You said no, that's not the plan. The plan is to actually actually have a credible voter registration. So let's look at how has the ABGA made efforts to not make it a lackadaisical thing, but to actually help people get their voters card, sensitize people on getting
We did that sensitization. ABGA is a party that have a very good decorum in what we are doing. As a matter of fact, if you are in ABGA, you will know quite well that whatever we do, we don't make too much noise. And my office, from the office of the Special Advisor Political, we've done enough. Even during the registration time, we sensitized our people at the grassroots to go and register. And right now, we're still sensitizing them. We're still giving a lot of sensitivities in the town for people to go and pick up their cards. And I believe they're doing it. They're doing it. The chairman, all the mayors in the local government, they are doing that work to make sure that the people collect. Because our people sometimes, I don't know how I'm going to explain it. Our people sometimes, they feel nonchalant over some certain issues. Like this type of voters card registration and collection of voters card, some will feel that it is nothing to them. But right now, the sensitization has gone down to the grassroots, or at least the political awareness in the village now is a little bit higher than what it used to be before. Before
in the hinterlands, in the local places, yeah.
So before, people don't like.
Why do you think the political awareness actually increased?
Because we are taking it down to them. Now we have elected councillors in all the local government, in all the wards.
All right. So I wouldn't want us to go, delve deep into the political structure.
Yes.
The discussion is basically on, how efforts being made by party to encourage voting. All right. So let's go back. Let's come back to you, Ambassador Fejika. The INEC REC, that's the resident electoral commissioner in Anambra State, talking about Dr. Queen Elizabeth Agu, highlighted a lot of things. And she highlighted, one of the things she actually did highlight was concern for voter apathy, like people not trusting the fact that their vote will count, and a whole lot of things. Then she also talked about talks of security. Whether I like it or not, security has been a constant talk in Anambra State, especially in the southern part of Anambra State. So your thoughts on this development?
She's telling lies. Security was worst when Obiano was handing over to Soludo.
But let's start from voter party. Yes, let's start from voter party first.
Yes.
Concerns for voter party. People concerned about the fact that their votes are likely not to count or something.
With what is happening, when the Igbos have a say that when you begin to shoot an animal and the animal doesn't move, it's either that animal is deaf or something is giving that animal that strength. With the way these people are going about, something is giving them the strength that they will rig election. I know what I'm saying.
Who are you talking
the other
about?
political parties, why will one political party be telling us about November 8th? Only one political party. That is the ruling party. The others, they don't care. They've not come to say, my brother, this is what is happening. That's where I'm going.
So
now, when you look at it, something is giving them that mind. The important thing is that it's one thing to vote. Then it's another thing for us to stand and defend the voting. That's the important thing. That's where I'm going. You understand me? You see, when you look at people felt that they've done their own work and things like that, it's not going to happen again. We allow it to happen, and the next thing they will tell you, go to court. Where a certain political party in a state came forth, and after the man who came forth became number one because of court adjustment. We said no to that. All we want to do is voters should vote. Not that day should not be a day of people going to play football. No, it's not the day.
You're still likely going to see that because
it has been happening.
The concerns,
So,
the
yes,
concerns,
that-
the
so
concerns
the
about
truth-
votes, the concerns about votes actually counting is really very much high. Like you see people, you discuss with young persons, and they're like, nah, those giving it a lackadaisical attitude, not trusting that it's really going to matter.
Now, what we want to avoid is what happened in Ondo State, where Ajasin and Omoboriowo, because Omoboriowo joined the ruling party, and at the end of the day, people saw that the election was rigged, and the people said no. There was mayhem in town. So if people felt that they are coming in, I'm not a politician, and I will never be one tomorrow. That's the truth of the matter.
But you worked with the government.
I can never be a politician, and I will never do anything. But the fact is that this young man in Ifitoka has done a good job. Whether you are his enemy or his friend, you understand me. He has done a good job. We have seen.
So you feel probably subject to the fact that he's made efforts. He's done some things that some persons will say are very credible.
For the first,
this is going to actually.
For the first time, we are seeing democratic dividend, and for the first time, Awka became a state capital.
Exactly.
Now I'm telling you this: for the first time, Awka has been a glorified state capital. Yeah. Even during the time of Peter Obi left Awka untouched. There was nothing done. Every governor left Awka, but this young man,
talking about the P2B and his unfocused on Awka, you forget the fact that he did some really massive project in Awka. Talking about the currently used to be Amako Teaching Hospital, but currently the Chukwumojuku Odumegwu University Teaching Hospital. He also made some quite good strides. Building the government house. Also, a whole lot of other
Which government
strides.
house?
So, not the lighthouse, of course, the one at Amobia. So, this
that
things
house
were basically
was and also that house was the house of the judge of the High Court.
No problem. So he also
it was
he also did exactly. So he also did
renovation is not building.
Exactly. So when you renovate, you also build because you're going to break something and actually build something.
It's renovation, my brother.
Exactly. So it's renovation, building, renovation too. So, but that's a different balance for also building, rebuilding, basically.
Rebuilding. Just
you don't think
what
it is?
Let's give it to Mbadniju. Remember, Mbadniju gave us this, the High Court, the House of Assembly complex.
Yes, he also did. Mbadniju also did some great jobs in terms of building.
We should not forget that.
In terms of building a primary healthcare centers in some part of in some part of the state. Because I mean the fact that towards the end there were a lot of strikes and some things, but we can't take away the fact that he also did make some efforts, right? So let's also now coming back to the P2B situation. Now P2B had to also clarify that one of the reasons why he focused on other parts of Anambra was to connect the hinterland, the rural areas, to the state, to the capital, to actually bring lots of development. And we saw that lots of communities actually did testify to the fact that was a grand master move by the man.
Leaving the state capital to be a village.
No, it's not a village, but probably that's what I'm saying. Even the Governor Soludo now is also doing the same thing. But what he's doing, the difference with what Governor Soludo is doing from Mr. P2B is the fact that he is taking all of them holistically. And also remember the fact that Mr. P2B almost met Anambra in a very comatose state. So it was more like the beginning and probably one of the reasons why, we saw some of those things, but it's not a campaign. Let's get it right.
We are not campaigning, but we are
just trying to make up a point.
Yes. We have to be very honest. You understand
me? An honest point that the governor has done a lot.
This man has
done. Of course.
Done a lot. Yes, connecting all the interior
I don't need to see him. I don't need to hear him talk.
Yeah.
But what he has done. What he has done, I'm saying.
And that's what other political parties are also doing too. They don't need to come out to talk, it's actually.
I want them to come and tell us that what this man has done in 4 years. In 2 years, we will do more than that.
So you believe them coming out to actually you believe them coming out that people from other political parties aside the ruling party, them coming out to talk will actually increase or rather reduce voter apathy to actually give
No,
people
no.
that.
There's a point he's making out there.
No, because the point is, I think
saying anything.
I think both of us are. I think
they have ulterior motives.
No, I think all of us are.
I think they will rig the election.
No, we are all saying the same thing here. That's what I'm saying. So because if they do not come out to probably say, or rather campaign and tell the public their plans,
yes,
it is going to actually increase voter apathy, because people will say, oh, a certain political party or the political party, probably ABGA, who is in power, is likely going to win. But if they actually come out to say, this is what we have in mind, this is our plan, these are the things, the current government is not doing that, we are going to come and do, people are going to come out to say, oh, and reduce voter apathy. I believe that's where that's the point.
Let me help you there. I agreed seriously with him.
Oh, you agree with him now? You remember he was not agreeing with it.
No, there was no time I disagreed with him, because he was trying to.
No, at a point he was not agreeing with you.
He disagreed with me at the very first point when I told him about how support groups came.
Okay.
You understand? So he disagreed with me based on his own view. I don't want to go there. But this area, I agree with him. The political parties there, even myself, I was surprised. Initially, the way it is being done in Anambra State is that APGA will be campaigning. During the time of Tony Moye in APC, he campaigned. He went down to other areas and told people exactly what he wants to do. During the time of Valentine Osibuanko, he campaigned. Oseleko Baze campaigned
for PDP.
For PDP. You understand? We have their records.
So you're saying because we've seen we've seen the social media. Are you seeing parties like the Labour Party is not campaigning enough? Because we've seen the strides they've been making.
If they are campaigning, are you saying that it is indoor campaign? We've not seen them come to the local governments to do the exact.
Come out. Where? Because let us look at the let's call it an embargo put by Governor Soludo. All right. Saying that if you have to actually campaign, if you actually have to place strategic billboards, you have to pay certain amount of money. And it was
even during Willis regime.
So probably it wasn't loud.
You have to pay to the signage.
So yes, it wasn't loud. But the point I'm trying to make is that IDEC actually did point that out during a during a meeting, yes, not a pep talk, but during a meeting with media, with the media, I think sometime in June, where they highlighted that to say it's actually against the Electoral Act of 2022, trying to tell people. However, they also did highlight the fact that they are going to collaborate with the signage and those who are very much in charge of signages in Anambra, probably ANSIPA and some other agencies. So don't you think that's also a restriction or a discouragement to other political parties, making them to devise other means of voting? Because of campaigning, I mean, because I think I'm in a couple of some of these groups, especially on WhatsApp, where they are now campaigning, and believe me, these guys really have numbers.
You don't
so
win
are you what if a shock pops up and a shock pops up and these persons have really made effort to sensitize via other means aside open campaigns?
But I want to tell you one thing. Since I have been in politics, you can never win election through social media.
Sorry. So let's go for a short break. Let's listen to the public. Let's listen to the public on their takes and readiness of the people of Anambra coming in the next few days, November 8, 2025. Then when we come back, we continue from this discussion because I'm pained. How do you say that about social media? So we'll be right back.
Yes, I have my own. Yes, and in fact, I get gathering more momentum in preparing for election. So we are ready to vote. We are ready to come out there and vote in mass for the upcoming governorship election in Anambra State. I think not only me, the entire Anambrians are getting ready for the election. So what do you vote?
Yes, I already have my permanent voter's card, and it's my intention to go to the unit and cast my vote. So I wouldn't feel disenfranchised in whatever way. It's my right, it's my civic right. It's my duty as a citizen of this country. Because when I vote, when I cast my vote, it's a leverage and also an advantage that we are there to put the right person in place. That is to tell you how prepared I am.
Though I'm not from this state, but I have my voter's card and I'm ready to vote on that day. Yeah, sure, I will vote. My polling unit is here in Okuno, Ward 1. Yes, I'm ready to vote on that day, so long as it's going to be peaceful and there won't be any issues on that day, because most times security is the first thing that you look out for. So once that day we are sure of security, definitely we are going to come out and vote.
Welcome back to this discussion this morning, and while listening to that vox pop, you could see both of them shaking their heads, probably agreeing to what the public actually did say about the upcoming election. Now, from that few, from that few words from the public, it's more like a positive one going into the election, showing that people are very much aware, and likely people are very much going to participate. A reasonable number of people are going to participate in the upcoming elections. But something they actually did point out, I think the last person, Mr. Mbe, he talked about security, assuring that security is going to, be there for the Anambra to vote. Now, let's bring that, talks of security. That was one of the things INEC also did talk about, talks of thuggery and a whole lot of insecurity. But there have been lots of talks about the police. In fact, we've seen it in most elections around the country. Police and other security agencies arriving to the designated state to monitor elections or to provide security and all that. But we still see rigging. We still, probably even if we don't see it, we still hear talks of riggings, we still hear talks of thuggery, we still hear, a whole lot of very bad news, very much connected to it. So what are the plans by the government, not the government this time, but by the APCA, to make sure that it doesn't happen again, or to, reduce these totally?
Because
you talked about free and fair elections.
Yeah, I'll just take it from this point. I will just use the last election. The last election, that was the first time election that brought in Soludo. We did that election with a great fear. Everybody knows quite well the security situation in Anambra then.
Not thuggery, but unknown government.
Unknown government,
Yes.
not thuggery.
So, but these are more advanced talks now.
No, they are not thugs.
Oh, is it that we don't know them?
They are killers. They are not thugs. They don't support any political party.
Talks, you can handle talks easily. You can handle talks easily. But these ones are unknown government. They shoot people, they kill people, they kidnap people.
So you can agree.
But that was what happened then.
The ABGA failed.
No, that was what happened then, and that was why the vote then from the
apathy.
That was serious apathy. The Soludo won that election with about 112,000 plus votes. Just like it's far much down to what we got from during the release period, So, but this time around, it is not going to be like that, because that was what happened then was why the governor put more effort in security combat. And between me and you know quite well that Anambra is now better than what it used to be before. For him to recover so many communities that was sieged by these terrorists.
Local government
The
areas.
Ihiala local government areas, the Newi South, and some part of Obaru. Governor did a lot of jobs there, to save me and you. So I believe this time around, this type of trouble cannot come. It will not. because the government is not sleeping over it. What we are looking at is the policemen and the policemen that will come from the IG, from other states that will come to Anambra.
Order from above.
Order from above, you know, and all these civil defense corps that will come from various states to come and help us. If they are coming into Anambra with clean heart that they are coming to do security work, let them just do security work and leave the people to decide.
Yes.
To decide. The people will go down, cast their vote, and their votes will count.
All right, let's, Honorable, or rather Ambassador Ifejika, let's look at the new INEC chairman, Amopiton.
Yeah, Joash.
Yeah, Joash Amopiton, a senior advocate of Nigeria, and of course, a quality
Professor of law.
A professor of law.
Don't take that from him.
You don't take it away from him. He's actually quality, seeing how well he's done, I think, from the University of Jos. So, him taking the realms of affair, likely going to oversee, likely going to be in charge in the upcoming elections, right here, and probably Anambra is going to be his first one. Are you going to, what influence are you likely going to see? Are we expecting from him being in charge? Positive, negative, or probably, perhaps?
You know, at the end of the day, the APC, we are not happy with Tinubu over the appointment. Because at the time, he was a legal representative of Dino Melaye, who is one of the greatest critics of the Mr. President. You understand me? The Amopita I know, who was the DVC of Unijos, the man I know, except the changes, is a man who is straightforward and not this thing. Anambra State will be a test for him. So if people are thinking that they will come through the back door, Amopita will change them. We change and do otherwise. It's not possible. It's not going to be possible. It's going, the game, I'm afraid, Amopiton, yes, I respect him. Unlike the one here. You understand me? We now know how they came, how the appointment came. Do you understand me? Everybody's appointment, somebody is there fighting and so on. Amopiton will do a straightforward job.
You're trusting him a lot, yeah, of course.
Yes, I'm trusting him even more than the state rec.
You're trusting him a lot, and that is quite, commending. That is quite a very positive one from him. But let's look at the former INEC chairman, talking about Mahmoud Yakubu. Said lots of positive things going into the last presidential election. People trusting him to actually do what he said, and then suddenly, probably not his fault, but the end game wasn't, the end result wasn't it. Probably due to network issues, the INEC experienced glitches. So are we likely going to see this happening? Because it may not be Amopiton's fault. Probably his plan this time is to actually have a credible elections, but then we'll begin to see network glitches. We'll begin to see a lot of things that may actually affect the credible election. Are we still going to cut the slack for him?
And that is why every party will have their representative in the booth there. Do you understand me? To work along with them. Now, you talk of Mahmoud. What happened before the presidential election? What happened in Imo State? Election came, somebody was already number 4. And when
for Mahmoud, it may not be that it wasn't on the INEC. Probably it was on the judiciary to see the loopholes, because INEC announced someone else. I think Ihedioha as the governor. They did the right thing, announcing someone with the majority, Ihedioha, as the governor of Imo State. But due to the facts being brought before the court, of course, sometimes the court may decide to look at technicalities. No matter how it actually did sound, no matter how an aberration it may look to the public, but they looked at the facts on ground to say, yes, the fourth person, but this person should have actually won the election, and he was made,
You are the umpire. 2 of us contested. He won the election. Then when I started complaining, you say go to court. I went to court. It's you that will bring the document, not him. It's your document that the court will use. And the document you presented favored me. And that was declared the winner. So don't say it was the court who declared. INEC worked together with the court to do that. Because when they tell you go to court, the court will not require.
Well, I do not think INEC said that then. I think it wasn't. I do not think. I think that period was even the APC suing INEC. I think together with the PDP too.
They will tell you go to court. That's INEC said they've done their job, and we went to court. INEC court now decided. I brought my own. He brought his own. Then court now asked INEC, bring your own records. Based on their records, they did comparison and they were able to award me as the governor.
So that's still the fault of the INEC to have allowed that.
It's what they brought in. You understand what we're saying? What we are.
INEC is always a witness to every
they will come witness in everything. Even
every
in primaries.
litigations, they will come there.
Even in primaries,
they will witness it. All party affairs, everything about party, they witness it. You understand? So they're supposed to be witness in the court and then do the needful.
They do the needful and things like that. So our problem is let all the political agents make sure they defend their votes.
Talking about that,
and also the voters.
So why must it be? Yes. So why must defending votes be left to voters?
No, not voters. The thing there is that every political party in every polling booth must have their agents in the polling booth.
That's what I'm saying. Some of these agents are actually. These are actually talks too.
No.
Because I know
every
polling agents, they train them, but sometimes
train them to know the new rules of INEC. You understand? INEC have their umpire. They may call them presiding officers or pool clerks or anything they call it. The party, they will have their own agents. The work of the agents there is to make sure that everything that is happening there is going in line with the guideline. Because the party must train their agents and give them time.
Honorable Mwonye, let's look at Governor Soludo's statement about this election. He said it is likely going to shape the future of Anambra State. Do you agree with him?
Yes, I agree with him. That our governor is a magician.
No, it's not. It is not for. It's not
about. Sometimes, I will tell you. I am close to the
ambiguous statement.
I like to. It's an ambiguous statement.
Yes, it's a very ambiguous.
He has his focus. He has his foresight. Like yesterday, he was at Oyi local government, my own local government. He told my people that. You understand that I can my niece.
So what are you trying to say? Is it that he's planning to empower people with beans and akara?
No, it's not beans and akara.
No, now because beans. When you hear beans, it's more like because that's what we begin to see. Empowerment, giving people beans to go to the street.
This man is a young Igbo man.
No, make me understand.
See, the thing there is trying to tell you that what he has in his package is bigger.
It's bigger than what
the one he has done. You understand? What he has in the package that is going to shoot out to Anambra people is bigger than the one he has done. That is exactly
so that's shaping. But if INEC does otherwise,
and
then we will go back to square one.
And even told our people that before he leaves this office, that Anambra State, if you know Anambra, then you won't know Anambra again. Yes.
So what you're trying to say is he's likely going to, because he promised a Dubai Taiwan for Anambra. So you're certain that, before he leaves, you're going to see a Dubai Taiwan.
Do you still remember that Soludo was the chairman of the Vision 2070 Anambra State? Yeah? And if you look at the things they planned, is exactly what he's going through. Anambra State, by the time Anambra will be that 50 years, a lot of things will happen in Anambra.
All right,
Dubai, Taiwan is not done in a day.
Let's not go there. Let's not begin to delve into because it sounded like campaigns for him, but it's really.
No, but we're saying the reality.
We are saying reality. All right, let's Ambassador Ifejika. Let's look at collaboration between political parties and the INEC, because whether you like it or not, they always seem to be that collaboration. We just talked about polling agents. And a whole lot of, because for polling agents to be allowed to be present or to be active in the polling units, there must have been an information, there must be a collaboration with the INEC. So what are we likely to expect this time in terms of collaboration between the political parties, not just about polling, but in general? Because you just talked about, earlier you talked about the fact that some political parties are not even making efforts to, do public campaigns. And I said some persons are actually making use of the social media. But we are going to, but don't worry, we are going to talk. But let's look at what are the collaborations between
you see, the question is those people who read social media, those people who go to social media, what is their percentage when you talk of voters? You understand me? These are things you have to check. What is the percentage of those people? P2B won the election on social media. P2B won that election by 100% on social media. You understand me? But that is not what we are saying. Political parties now, INEC, police cannot. Political party may go and align and have, because when you look at it, the president governor is the commander-in-chief in charge of security in Anambra State. All police commissioners, military commanders are under him. But there is what we call the orders from above. The IGP, the chairman of INEC, are the people that will decide this election. Now, offering was today, we are putting the result of MKO Abiola. Abiola was leading. Suddenly there was a call from above that they should stop. And they stopped. You see, these are things that always cause problem. Now, when they are coming here, we have an AIG in this zone who stays at Ukbo. But they are going to bring another AIG who happen to be a senior and the DIG to be in charge of this election. So automatically, it now hands off. They report to those people now. And that man, every policeman coming to Anambra State will also report to that DIG that is coming. And the DIG takes instruction from the IGP who is in Abuja sitting down monitoring in the situation room, knowing what is happening in Anambra State, calling him. And he's reporting at every moment, this is what is happening. He will tell them, do this, do that, and so on. But it now takes the people of Anambra State to say, this is our vote. We are going to protect it.
That is it.
You understand me? This is our vote. We are going to protect it.
So how do they begin to protect it?
How do they begin to protect it? Good. You know, police will tell you that you don't begin to tell us any election. You don't count any election. It's illegal. The fact is that in Boot C, in ABS, we find out that one political party has won the election.
You declare the result.
You declare the result. You send it to
you post it
to people there.
And they now know. Collect it.
They now, because the result will be counted there.
Yeah.
We saw that. We saw that in the 2023 elections. Yes. We saw that. But you see, like you just mentioned, a whole lot of rearrangements will be made. A new DIG, a new AIG that will be in charge of these elections. So don't you think these people, and these persons will be reporting to the orgas at the top?
Yes.
Don't you think this, directly or indirectly also invalidates, the efforts being made? Because even if you protect the votes and do a lot of fighting or infighting to make sure that, oh, your vote actually does count or actually does matter. And these people come out to say, oh, Oga said this. There's a new directive, like you just mentioned of Frimosu. I think the Babangida-led government then, directed him to, and Babangida also had to come out to give reasons to say this was the reasons why he actually annulled that election. But that's by the way. So what if something like that?
I want to say something. Apuga should give the man in charge of mobilization, who is this man here. They should mobilize him financially. You understand me? This is Nigeria. They do dirty works. All political parties are doing dirty works.
Like dirty? What do you mean by what do you? All right. So no. That's I would have loved to.
What I'm trying to let you know,
because we are talking about collaboration.
Now,
because whether you like it or not,
at any given time, the press is this thing of the society, the press. He will always call press conference. You don't call press conference with empty hand, without mobilization, financial mobilization.
Let me help you there.
Call them.
The only thing there, what APGA as a party, like I said before, this kind of things is not things we discuss in the air because everybody's seeing it and hearing it. APGA as a party have their plans over the elections. All we know is that we're not planning to re-election. We are asking the people to decide who is going to be their governor. And the people will go to the vote and cast their vote. But the only thing we know that is the vote counted in Anambra State.
You defend it.
Will be defended. It was going to count. Nobody is going to mess it up. Because you can't tell me that a whole day I'll be at home to cast my vote, to decide who is going to be my governor. You will be there to tell me that thing I did there is rubbish. No, I won't take it from you. And every other person won't take it from them. So if you are good to govern Anambra State, the people will decide you by voting you in. That is all I have to say about it.
Expensiveness of elections. Spend a lot of money. The INEC is going to spend a lot of money.
Political parties will also spend.
Political parties will also. In fact, something the man Soludo template is election actually does have an economy. He called it the election economy, whereby monies are being spent in terms of mobilization, like you mentioned, and lobbying too. We must agree that a certain level of lobbying actually does happen, probably to voters, or but these are more like internal activities by the political parties and a whole lot. But let's focus on the expensiveness of fiscal votings. Can they be, I'm very much, I won't say very much, but as a tech-inclined someone, I know that there are means you mustn't even need to spend so much to involve a techie to devise a simple means of voting, even because when you say this, some persons will say, what of somebody without a mobile phone? Not a mobile phone, but without an Android or iPhone. Someone can actually, an arrangement can be made, a system can be made to enable people vote with their phones, and a whole lot of, because it's not just in fact, even civilians also spend money, because the economy for that day in that region is actually crippled, because people don't go to work, people sit at home, and a whole lot of things. So can't elections be less expensive and made seamless?
See, those ones are still coming. We are growing as a country. We are growing as a country to meet to that standard. Even at a time, like in America, you see they do diaspora voting. We in Nigeria were not doing it.
We are just 65 years.
No, we can't say. Look at Cameroon. Amidst the ruckus in Cameroon in recent times about Povia, they were actually diaspora voting in Cameroon. And you do not think it's it's more about politics?
You know why? Don't say Cameroon, because Cameroon they have live president.
They have life.
No, you're not getting me. No, I'm not. You're not getting. No, you're not.
The problem we're having in Nigeria is continuity, the lack of continuity. Everybody wants to lead. Everybody wants to lead. You get it? Like this, Anambra State now, the governor is about to finish his 4 years term, and he's still asking Anambra people to put him in for the second term, which will make it 8 years. We say 4 plus 4, 8. Make it 8 years. You get it? This is a problem we're having in Nigeria politically. But this particular table is not going to solve it. It's something that will be solved in the National Assembly. When they decide to have 1 term, but being a long term, 10 years, 1 term, people will know. And this, the hunger for positions will now reduce. But that is not us that will decide it. The people that will decide this are people at the National Assembly. You know, what I will be here to discuss is the issues of these elections, where the expenditures you're talking about. APGA as a party, I know, we are not planning for vote buying. That is why the governor is going down to the wards and all the local governments asking people to vote him in. And the people will go in there and vote the person they want. You understand? And it is now our onus to defend that vote. That's all. In terms of expenditures, no, every political party must spend. You must spend. For you to see people, call people, gather people around.
Campaign.
To campaign or talk to them. You've gathered them. You must mobilize them. Give them one thing or the other. Because you yourself, you know the situation of Nigeria.
Something might even happen there. Somebody have come to vote and just decide to fall down. And you know he has voted for your party. As a party agent, you put that in your pocket.
And do something.
And give something, say, go to the pharmacy and take care of this person. Yes. There's always an incident happening.
Of course. That's still more like mobilizations for, that's more like an inter-party, not inter, but within the party, and intra-party affair, encouraging people, because you cannot say, because voting has been, or rather it's currently seamless, but you have to mobilize people, you have to take care of the people. Because
you have to take care of people.
If you take care of people, that is when you get their vote, all right?
That is the spirit, our governor. Yeah. I'm not trying to... Wait,
before we talk about the governor, you are trying to actually, all right? So let's still look at the amount of money being spent on elections in Nigeria, right? Now, since returning to democracy in 1999, Nigeria has spent approximately 981.5 billion naira on elections. That's about $5.4 billion on general elections. Now, in 1999, 32 billion naira was spent. That's about 1.4 billion. In 2003, 55.2 billion. That's about $484 million. 2007, 74.2 billion. That's about $680 million. In 2011, 99.9 billion naira. In 2015, 122.9 billion. 2019, 242.2 billion. 2023, 355 billion. In total, about 981.5 billion have been spent. Then that's
by
about
the government.
By the government.
5.48.
Not party.
That's what I'm saying.
By the government itself.
It's part of the things you're talking about. So that's about 5.8 billion. So if the government over the years has spent this amount of monies on elections, then what of the political parties? All right. So how can elections be made less expensive and more seamless, and then more credible? Because the more money is being spent on these on these elections, the more questions are being asked, the more it's lacking in credibility. Because there's no election. When you talk since 1999. Because I won't want to go back to the 1989 elections, or we don't want to even talk about the 1960, 1963 elections across around the country, or the first cross-carpeting in 1950. We won't talk about that. But let's look at the recent ones. So how can we have seamless elections, less expensive elections, and also at the same time credible elections?
These details you just read now, from my own view, is the money spent by the federal government to INEC to prepare elections. That's a different matter.
Including that of production of beavers.
Beavers, all those election cards, printing of all those systems, payment of all these ad hoc staffs, because INEC staffs alone cannot meet to the demand.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because if you're paying ad hoc staff, you have to also do lots of printings. You also have to provide machines and so. But you know, these machines can be eradicated. Everything, because your phones, whether you're using an Android phone, an iPhone,
that must be upgraded.
You can seamlessly, we can be talking here and you just quickly put a, make your vote, and we're seeing some of these things.
We complained about the beavers. When beavers came in, so many people complained about beavers, and later we now saw that the beavers helped, because without beavers, you don't rig elections.
No, most of the people who complained were actually political parties.
No, let me tell you, because those who have rigging in mind will complain. Beavers will open and start accrediting people, and people vote. After voting, they will write the result. They will capture the result there and send to their yes. So as a matter of fact, personally, I know that beavers stopped this issue of thuggery. People coming to the polling booth to carry ballot box. So if you carry it, there's nothing you're going to do with it. You understand? So I believe now INEC will be upgrading. To be upgrading from that point 1, 2.3, and at the time we'll get to this area where we're talking about. So if you compare this your details now with what is tenable in America, you see that maybe America will be even higher than ours. You understand? Because their own has gone higher than ours. And I know with time
that's
we'll still get to
another
that place.
question he would have asked. You understand? But before that time, the beavers wasn't a failure. Ghana used it.
No.
It was a success.
We are not saying.
Ethiopia is going to use it.
Yes, of course. That's what I said. We've not.
But
Nobody's saying beavers is a failure. But we're talking about how we can make elections. Probably more. Not we, but myself. I'm asking. Talking about how we can.
No, it has started though.
We will do
it has started. Let me just give you one example. When I talk now, you say I'm defending my party, but I'll still use my party as an example.
I don't have party.
No, that's I know you don't have party, but I'll use it as an example. Initially, whenever we're going to do any governorship election, you will see a lot of buses shouting, campaigning. All political parties. If you want to be a governor, you must make sure that you buy buses and give to your 21 local government coordinators. Even buy tricycle, give to so many people. This election gifts. Soludo stopped all of them. At his first term election, he did not buy all those things. This election, he did not buy it again. That alone is now reducing.
Why didn't he buy?
No, but we like it. We like it. You like it. The politics was polluted that moment. And so many people coming into politics somewhere coming. Let me go and struggle to be the campaign coordinator for governorship candidate so that I'll get a car. That makes so many of them inconsistent. Makes so many of them inconsistent. That person will be in PDP. If there's no gap for him to get what he wants in the PDP, he will jump to APC.
Yeah.
If there's no gap, he will jump to ABGA.
So what you're trying to say, cross-carpeting is not just a politician thing, but also...
There are difference between cross-carpeting and defection.
Defections.
There are two different things. When Nnamdi Azikiwe won election in the Western House of Assembly to be the first premier in the West, in the 50 year that you're talking,
yes,
the Yorubas had to say, how will an Igbo man come from the southeast?
No, I think the Yorubas were actually, welcoming that, but it was due to...
He's talking about history now.
They discussed with some
I think it was very much influenced by Awolowo.
No, he has the history.
They discussed with certain individuals. People like Fani Kayode, they spoke to them. They have to leave Zik, because with that majority, Zik has won. But when they now cross-carpeted to keep their ethnic group, their ethnicity intact, they moved. But this particular one now is that the governor will now move and say, whether you like it or not, you are going to join the party that is defecting to. All of us will follow him en masse and go to that party. And now the state automatically become
that party,
that political party.
That is defection.
All right,
defection.
let's share with the public our last words, Honorable Ambassador Ifejika, your last words to the Anambra going into the next elections coming on the 8th of November 2025, and also to political parties too.
What I want to tell the Anambra State is that don't let anybody buy your conscience.
Yes.
Don't sell your card to anybody who say, give me your card, I will pay you 20,000 for 6 months. Then after the election, I give you the card. Don't do that. Then if on that day you know the party you want to vote for, another political party gives you money, collect the money and go and do your voting and go away.
Yes.
So don't allow anybody to, force you to go contrary to what you left at home. You know the party you wanted to vote for. Go vote for that party. That's it.
Go vote for your party, your intended party. All right, Honorable Chief Obiajulunwe, your last words to the public and also to political parties, APGA included.
Yes. What I want to tell my people is, on 8th of November, go and do your vote. Cast your vote to whom you really want to govern Anambra State. And stay there, not just cast your vote and go. Cast your vote, stay there and make sure that your vote counts. You see the result before you leave that polling booth.
All right, there's much we can take on to this edition of, or rather today's episode of this discussion segment of the Good Morning Anambra, where we discussed Anambra Decide 2025 voter readiness for the November 8th governorship election. It was quite a very informative session for us this morning. So my name is Obina. Do have a very positive day ahead.